All right, so quick review, solving by elimination. If this will let me move this, maybe it will, maybe it won't. There we go. All right, so we're solving by elimination. Right there in the word, if I'm solving by elimination, what is the goal? How does this technique work? John? We eliminate something, right? Elimination works because we eliminate something. All right, now we're always looking for an opposite match to be able to eliminate something. So if we're looking for an opposite match, does anything have one right now? No, nothing has one yet? Okay. So I see that the x's are opposites, right? We've got a positive and a negative. I see that the y's match. There's one of each of those, but neither thing is an opposite match yet. So we can either make the x's have the same number, or we can make the y's have an opposite sign. Which seems easier? John, what do you think? Yeah, I would agree that making the y's have the opposite sign is the easier way to do it. So let's take and multiply the bottom equation by -2. I'm sorry, -1. Why did I pick the bottom equation? Anybody know? John, what do you think? Or Leah, what do you think? Go ahead, Leah. It turns the -3 into a +3, and that kind of feels better, right? Starting with a positive number instead of a negative number. So I'm going to rewrite the top equation without changing it at all. The only reason I'm rewriting it is so that they'll stack up nicely. We're just doing the do now right now, Paris. I'll get you the note sheet in a second, okay? I want them to stack up nicely, so I just rewrote it. Didn't change anything. But the bottom one, all the signs are going to change. So -1 times -3x will be a +3x. Negative times y will be a -y. So see, I've got that opposite match on the y's now. And 2 times -1 is -2. All right, so now that I have my opposite match, I'm ready to add my two equations together. So if I add those two equations together, I'm adding right down the columns. What do I get? What do I get when I add those two equations together? I've got a 5x. And positive y and negative y, those have eliminated each other. 12 and a -2, what happens? 10. All right. So now we like this because by eliminating the y, we have a much less complicated equation to deal with. How do I solve this equation? Division, right? If I divide both sides by 5, I'll now know that x equals how much? 2. Okay. Are we done? She did it. But are you all done, Alex? Yeah, read it all the way through? Okay. All right. So x is equal to 2. Am I finished with the problem? No, I'm not finished with the problem? Okay, what do I still need to do? Theo?
Insert the value of x into one of the...
Yeah. Which one did you like better, Theo? The top one or the bottom one?
I did the top.
All right, I did too when I did it. And that's what we chose in period 2 as well. It's just a little less complicated without the signs in there. So I like that idea of going in there. So now remember, this part is always substitution, right? We have a method that's substitution altogether. The elimination is like half elimination, half substitution, because we're going to do substitution now. Remember, when we substitute, we have to take something out and put something else in, right? Like you wouldn't have a substitute teacher here if I was here, right? That'd be silly. But if I'm not here, then you need a substitute teacher to come in and take my place. So we have to remove something in order to get something new. So I'm going to remove the x and replace it with that 2. And now again, I have a simpler equation that I can solve. So that says 2 times 2. Well, how much is that? 4. So I've got 4 plus y equals 12. How do I get y alone? Divide. Really? Maybe subtract, right? Because the 4 is adding to the y, so the opposite of adding is to subtract. See, if you speak with confidence, sometimes I just believe you, right? And then I have to catch myself. I like speaking with confidence. It's good. All right, so 12 minus 4 is how much? 8. Okay, now am I done? Almost. What's not done about this problem? Yeah, I have to like say what the answer is. Because remember, when we're solving a system, we're looking for the point of intersection. We want to know, where do these two lines meet? So whether we do that by graphing or we do it by algebra, no matter what, we're looking for that ordered pair. So we have to remember to write our answer as 2, 8. right? We got to actually say, hey, this is the point where these two lines meet. All right, any questions about your do now? Quick little like going back to the midterm, reviewing a couple things as we go along. You'll find I keep doing that because I don't want you to forget the first semester stuff. So I will periodically give us little do nows that are stuff from the midterm. Theo.
Finals. You have to do stuff from the first.
So Theo, that's a really good question. So Theo wants to know, do we have to do stuff on the final that we did on the midterm? Like yes and no. So not directly. So any question that was on the midterm you wouldn't see an identical question to that on the final. But sometimes there are skills that we used in the first semester that you kind of still need to do the second semester stuff. So we did a lot of stuff with laws of exponents in the first semester, and that was all on the midterm. But we're still kind of talking about exponents, right? Because we're kind of in the middle of this unit. So you're going to see stuff related to exponents again on the final because we weren't finished with that unit yet. But it won't be like the same kinds of questions you had on the midterm. It'll be the stuff that's focused on what we're going to start with today. Does that make sense? So it's not technically a full year final. It's a second semester final. All right? But that doesn't mean that we can go, oh, good, I can forget everything from first semester. I'll never need that again because the stuff from first semester will crop up in the second semester. It'll be part of other things that we're doing, and it'll crop up again in like Algebra 2, and some of it will crop up in geometry next year. Okay? So that's kind of where we're at. Leah? Today, no, because with such a short class time, I need to get us going on this next lesson. So I'm going to focus on doing some exponent law stuff with you. Later in the week, I'm hoping that we'll have some time in one of our longer periods where we can do that. Absolutely. Okay? But in case you didn't notice, midterm grades are all in. I got those in like midweek last week, so you at least know how you did. And I'll address going over midterm stuff later in the week. All right, so I'm going to stop this one.